Whether you're writing fiction, pursuing a nonfiction, that journey, that path is one that brings you a lot of pleasure. What I got out of everything you conveyed with us was that passion and interest is crucial to your journey and to your success. And if I were to ask you one final question, it would be this: what advice would you give to any writer who's working on their first book or is just thinking about walking down the path you walked down so many years ago? What would you say to them?
So for the person that is thinking about it, the second person you talked about, the latter, I would say pick up your pen and write. Just write. Then you don't need to go to a course. You just write. You could pick up a book like Writing by Stephen King, or there's many books out on writing today, but write physically, whether you're on a computer or a pen. Write anything, just write. Go and copy your favorite book. Go and copy the sentences in the book, but write. That's the first one. For a person who's writing their book, would be finish. I think it's interesting you asked that, because in one of my events, this man came up to me and he said, exactly what you just asked me. What advice do you have? My wife is writing a book. Do you have any just little piece of advice that you could pass along? And I say, no matter what she does, just finish. Even if she doesn't even like the ending, just finish it. Just so you have it, like, done. And he looked at me and he says, I'm a renovator. And he says, the number one thing I get called for? And I said, I have no idea. And he says, putting up baseboards. People build their whole rec rooms and they build up they renovate their rooms and whatever. But he says they just can't get to finish it with the floorboards and the moldings. I said, well, that's just the way it kind of goes. And it's one of those. You've probably read Stephen Penrose's The Art of the War of Art, The Art of War.
No, I have not.
So that's the one that people always tell me about. But I picked up this book called Do the Work by Stephen Pressfield. And for both of your categories, that would be a book that I would say, but order this book first. It might take you an hour to read it, but it has in it all the things that you encounter, like self-doubt, like, oh, I've got another idea. And that's what the finishing part is, because you always come up with new ideas, right? In fact, I have often say the ideas are a dime a dozen. The real truth is someone that takes an idea the distance.
There's that finishing concept again, right?
Because Neil Gaiman talks about it, right?
I love him.
Yeah, he's I haven't mentioned him yet, but he's one of those guys that just seems to have a sense of story. That's like his Coraline.
Yeah.
That's the one with the eyes.
My favorite was American Gods. I mean, I fell in love.
Yeah. No, it's.
You didn't like that? Did you not like it?
That's the book that put me on to Neil Gaiman. Like, that's a stunning work. I love that book.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
But no, I was going to say that's why, like, I thought that to do the workbook it's simple enough, but it gives you enough to kind of, oh, I can do this. And I liked it. And I was going to say, you were instrumental in helping me, guiding me through The Actor. There's no question. Even some of the stuff you said with the drive-in. But the reason why I bring it up, George, is the fact that I would have finished them, but you had a few things that I don't know, for whatever reason, they just hit me in a very good spot. And it was really like when you told me the second book, that's the finish part, right? It's like, what makes you think you're going to have a second book? And it was like, it's honest, right? It's like, it's real. And I took that, like, that's like 7 years ago, right? And I can still remember the chat on it. You said, I think you could do this with this book.